Okay, first question here is find the mean from a grouped frequency table. And in order to do that, we need to know the midpoint of each group. So I'm going to work out the midpoint, quite straightforward. So the midpoint of each group, so 0 to 20, the midpoint is going to be 10. 20 to 40, that's going to be 30. 40 to 60, midpoint is 50. 60 to 80, the midpoint is 70. 80 to 100, the midpoint is 90. And if you like, I can call that my X column. This is my frequency column. And in order to work out an estimate for the mean, I need to do X times F. And what I'm doing there is I'm working out the total approximate distance walked in the week by 40 people. So I've got 8 people who are walking an average of 10 kilometers. So the distance that they have walked is 8 times 10, which is 80. Don't forget this is only an estimate. I'm then going to do 24 times 30, well that's 720, and then 5 times the 50, which is 250, then 2 times 70, which is 140, and then 1 times 90, which comes out as 90. Now if I add those together, I sometimes, if you like, I can call those sigma X F. And if I add that together, and you must quote this total, I get 1,280. So the mean, okay, is first of all an estimate of the total distance travelled by everybody. Well, that's 1,280. That's kilometers. And then I have to divide by the total number of people. Now be careful here. They give me the total in this case, which is 40, so I've just got to do 1,280 divided by 40. If I didn't know that the total was 40, if I add up the frequency column, I'll also get 40. So I'm now going to do 1,280 divided by 40, which comes out as 32 kilometers, and that's the mean distance walked. Now for the next part of the question, they have drawn the cumulative frequency graph. And remember, the cumulative frequency graph tells you the number of people who, in this case, walk less than a particular distance. So first of all, the question says the number of people who walked less than 25 kilometers. So what you need to do is find 25 kilometers. Well, that's 30 kilometers. 25 kilometers is here, halfway between 20 and 30. And the best thing to do there is if you can draw a line. So I'm going to draw a vertical line up to the graph, which is there. And then I go across like that. You can't see it particularly clearly, but it comes out as about, well, somewhere between 12 and 13. So you would be allowed to have there, you can either have 12 people, or you could have 13 people, 12 or 13 people. Now to find the interquartile range, you know that there are 40 people. So the interquartile range, graph goes up to 40. To find the lower quartile, we go a quarter of the way up, okay, which is to 10. Again, it's useful to draw some lines. I'll just do them in a different color this time. So we go across to the graph, which is there. We then go down, and that's about 22. So the lower quartile from my graph is about 22. I'll write it here. So lower quartile is approximately 22. To find the upper quartile, we go 3/4 of the way up the vertical axis. Well, 3/4 of 40 is 30, so I go across from 30, and then I go down, and that, oops, undo that, it's meant to be vertical, so across and then down, which is about there, and that comes out, again, you can't see it particularly clearly, but the upper quartile comes out as about 38, which means that the interquartile range is the difference between those two, so the interquartile range is approximately 38 minus 22, which is about 16. And I think you would be allowed here anywhere between about 15 and 17 kilometers. Make sure that those lines are on your graph though.